Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Mastering English with Podcasts. I'm Raizel, and I'm here with Ricky as usual. How's it going, Ricky?
I'm great, Raizel, and hey to all our awesome listeners out there. I hope you're ready, because today's episode is actually something we get asked about all the time. Mirror practice.
Yeah, right? It's one of those things you hear about, but you're not sure if it really works, or if it's just one of those English learning myths. So, let's get into it. I guess the best place to start is the basics, right? Ricky, can you kick things off by explaining what mirror practice actually is? And maybe throw in an example or two for the folks listening.
Absolutely. So, mirror practice is, well, exactly what it sounds like. You stand in front of a mirror and talk. It could be anything you want. Introducing yourself, talking about your day, describing something. The key part is that you're speaking to yourself, and the mirror, it's just your audience. It lets you focus on how you're speaking without worrying about anyone else listening.
I love that. So you're saying it's like a dress rehearsal for real-life conversations?
Exactly, yeah. Like, imagine you have a big meeting coming up, or you're planning to meet a friend for coffee in English. You could stand in front of a mirror and just start with, "Hey, how's it going?" And then maybe practice different ways to answer questions. You're practicing both speaking and body language at the same time.
Ah, that's great. And I guess it helps to see yourself too, right? Like, it's almost like watching a video of yourself, but live. So let's dig deeper here, Ricky. Why would someone want to do this? What makes mirror practice so powerful for learning English?
Well, there are a few reasons, but one of the biggest is that it helps build confidence. Speaking in another language can feel intimidating, especially when you're worried about making mistakes. With mirror practice, you're speaking without that pressure. You're practicing in a safe environment where no one's judging you. And honestly, when you start seeing yourself speaking confidently, it's like, hey, I can do this.
That's so true. You know, I used to feel so shy about speaking English in front of people, but mirror practice helped me see how I look and sound, which made it way less scary in real conversations. It's like a confidence boost in disguise. So, what do you think? How can someone get better at English by doing this?
Well, it does a few things. First, it improves your pronunciation. When you're standing there talking to yourself, you'll start noticing how certain words sound. Like maybe you're saying, "the" sounds a bit off, or "our sounds aren't as clear." You can adjust on the spot. And second, it improves fluency. The more you practice talking without stopping, the more natural it starts to feel.
Oh, yeah. And I think it helps with thinking in English, too. You're not just memorizing phrases, you're practicing forming sentences on the fly. So, over time, it starts to flow more naturally. Okay, let's debunk some myths. Is there any myth around mirror practice?
Oh, definitely. One common myth is that it's only for beginners. But actually, mirror practice is for anyone at any level. Even advanced speakers use it to refine their delivery or prepare for public speaking. So, if anyone's listening and thinking, "Oh, mirror practice is too basic for me," that's just not true.
Good point. And another myth I hear a lot is that it's just talking nonsense. But it's not. Even if you're practicing saying random things, you're still working on sentence structure, fluency, and expression.
So, Raizel, what would you suggest people talk about when they're doing this mirror practice thing?
Great question. I'd say start with topics that are easy to talk about, like yourself. You could describe your day, talk about something you enjoy, like your favorite movie, or even pretend you're explaining your job to someone who doesn't know what you do. Then, as you get more comfortable, you can branch out into harder topics.
That's perfect advice. And honestly, even saying, "Okay, today I'm going to talk about why I like pizza," can help. You're practicing description, giving opinions, and sharing experiences.
Let's give our listeners some actual exercises they can try.
Sure thing. Here's a simple one. Set a timer for 2 minutes and just talk. It doesn't matter what about. You could describe your surroundings, talk about the weather, or even make up a story. The only rule is don't stop talking.
Oh, that's a great one. And another fun one is to choose a few tricky words you've been learning and practice using them in sentences while watching yourself in the mirror. So, Ricky, how long should people spend doing a mirror practice each day?
Well, it doesn't have to be super long. Even 5 to 10 minutes can make a big difference. And if you're just starting, short sessions are great to build the habit without getting too tired or overwhelmed.
Right. And if you feel like going longer, that's fine too. But it's definitely quality over quantity here. It's better to be consistent with a few minutes every day. Let's talk about mistakes. What are some common ones you think people should watch out for?
One big mistake is focusing too much on being perfect. The goal isn't to be flawless, but to be comfortable. You're practicing, so give yourself permission to make mistakes.
Yes. And another one is rushing through it. You don't have to speed talk just because you're in front of a mirror. Take your time, listen to yourself, and focus on clear speech.
Oh, that's a good one, Raizel. And speaking too softly, I think, is another common mistake. It's important to use your normal voice to get a realistic feel for how you sound.
So, let's share some tips for doing mirror practice consistently. Because honestly, consistency is the hardest part, right?
For sure. One trick is to make it a part of your daily routine. Like every morning, as you're brushing your teeth, talk to yourself in English for a minute. It doesn't have to be a big production. Just a minute here and there adds up.
I love that idea. And setting a goal, like saying, I'm going to do 3 minutes of mirror practice every day, can make it easier to stick with. You could even make it a game and try to beat your record.
When you're doing mirror practice, what are some good questions to ask yourself to keep it interesting and engaging?
Great question. You could ask yourself things like, do I sound natural? Am I using the right tone? How can I say this more clearly? These questions keep you focused and make the practice more productive.
Yep, it's all about reflecting on how you're doing and finding ways to improve. Like your own mini self-evaluation.
Well, that was a fun chat. Mirror practice is so simple, but it's such a powerful way to get better at speaking English.
Totally agree, Raizel. And to all our listeners, remember, the mirror is your friend. Don't be shy. Give it a try and see how it helps.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and let us know in the comments about your own mirror practice experiences. We'd love to hear how it's working for you.
Yep, share your tips too. And until next time, keep practicing and keep shining. See you!